Hello and welcome to the next installment of our UXDX Online series. I hope you're really excited for the talks today. I'm looking forward to hearing and learning more about how people are operating out there in the wild and improving their ways of working. Before we jump into the talk, I'm going to give a very quick introduction to why we're running these online events at UXDX. So our mission at UXDX is to help companies shift from building software products using a waterfall methodology and building index to empowered autonomous product teams. And why that's our mission is we believe it's more effective, efficient, and sustainable in high change environments. So that bit is kind of the important one, because one size doesn't fit all. If you're in a low change environment, it makes sense to use waterfall projects. Back when I was starting to come about, projects were infrequent and there was small IT departments. So it made sense to put people on one project and then move them somewhere else and put them on a project over there. But today, when things are continuously, it makes sense to have experts who can go deep into a particular area and just stay in that area, continuously improving, understanding the business needs, and continuously iterating to better and better products. As we go through, and how we're trying to deliver on that mission is by delivering these talks and sharing how people are changing their ways of working and how they're improving things for the better. You'll have some questions as we go through the talks, and I'd love to hear your questions. So please do either comment on YouTube or on our website or whatever platform you're using, and put in your questions, and we'll put those questions to the speakers. Sometime at a time, and that's why we have the UXDX community Slack, which has a channel specifically for speakers. And in there, we'll put any questions that we don't have time to get today. But that's enough about me. You're not the reason why I'm here today. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker of the day, and that is Rittika Basu, who will be talking about age and interface, equipping older adults with logical tools. So, Rittika. Hello, Rittika.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for me. Thank you.
Over to you now. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Rittika, and today the title of my talk session is Age and Interface: Equipping Older Adults with Technology. This project is created and dedicated in the loving memory of my late grandparents, Mrs. Amita Chaudhary and Mr. Shudri Chandra Chaudhary. Now, we are going to look at some statistics. In 2015, according to a survey conducted by Pew Research Center, 11% of seniors are not confident to use computers, smartphones, or electronic devices. After 6 years, the same research center stated that only 8% of older adults are using internet, in contrast to 48% of younger adults being netizens. It is being observed that seniors are the least inclined demography towards digital applications. What these statistics are trying to indicate us that seniors aged 60 years and above are uncomfortable using new technologies. We also observe our grandparents struggling to use the mobile phones or smartphones. They lack digital literacy skills and are unaware of their digital rights. We are going to look at some terminologies like digital literacy. It refers to the ability to use, operate, and have knowledge of digital mediums. It includes mobile literacy and computer literacy. A user is called digital citizen when he or she is capable of writing emails, editing online documents, accessing information, and networking via digital tools. He or she will be able to create, share, consume digital content easily. While netizens refer to individuals who uses the internet frequently. Now, let's look at computer anxiety. Technophobia is defined as the irrational fear and unease towards using modern technology, while computer anxiety refers to the negative attitude towards computers. Many older adults or seniors have misconceptions about technologies and are affected by technophobia or computer anxiety. Hence, they avoid using new gadgets. Now, we have to think, why is it difficult for older adults or seniors or elderly people to use digital devices? What aging factors prevents them from becoming proficient digital citizens? And also, how can we make seniors more tech savvy and help them to embrace modern technology? With age, the lens in the human eye loses its flexibility and unable to see nearby objects, a condition called presbyopia. Hence, they face difficulty in identifying different shades of blues, greens, or purples or tracking fast cursor movements. They also face problems in hearing the audio instructions. Hence, we as designers should not use designs with small fonts or thin typefaces. Design a system where the older adults or elderly browsers can change the font sizes. Rely on multiple sensory outputs. In case audio is involved, implement the option of subtitles. Text should not be smaller than 14 point size and larger text should always be 18 points or above. Speak at a slow than normal pace and use non-verbal communication means like hand gestures, facial expressions. Speaking slowly will allow older adults to the time to absorb the information and understand. Older people have slower reflexes and deteriorating motor skills. They face difficulty to press small buttons or respond quickly. Older generations take long time to respond and think. Hence, we as designers should be designing CTS or buttons that should be sized for 48 pixels and above. The device should not require rapid input or precise input. It should also allow human errors. Teach on one-to-one basis since every senior's learning need is different. You may teach them about customizing accessibility features in their smartphones like increasing the color contrast or using the magnifier feature or using the talk aloud feature. With age, memory deteriorates in a person. Elderly people find it difficult to memorize complex new concepts. They also prefer systems that help them to remember things, like the reminder option in smartphones or planning using the Google Calendar. Avoid using features that need advanced technical knowledge and do not use lengthy texts. Sufficient time breaks should be provided to sustain the attention span and focus of older adults. Memorizing strategies should be applied like association, localization, and repetition techniques. Example password hints or reset password links always provide pictures and more visuals for better communication. Older adults will prefer using devices that matches their habits. They would prefer large screen tablet with naked eye than a small screen phone with glasses. Keep your designs simple, affordable, seamless, and user friendly. While Geron technology, or okay, let's learn about this term. Gerontology is the science of aging and the problems associated with old age. While geron technology, this term was devised by Professor Jan Graffens in 1989. It is the portmanteau of gerontology and technology. Gerontological design are created by the amalgamation of gerontology and design thinking methodologies to help older population. The knowledge is applied in medicine, nursing, academia, healthcare, and behavioral psychology. We will also focus at WCAG 2.1, which is the full form is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, which is an online resource that states rules and standards to make web content more understandable, usable, accessible for users with special needs or users who are differently abled. It is a helpful guide that accommodates users with low vision, hearing loss, learning disabilities, and other forms of disabilities. Let's take a look at these two terms, gerontology technology and gerontological design. How I conducted research for this project. I volunteered for 7 to 8 months at TechSurfTo to interact with senior citizens. TechSurfTo is a Canadian NGO devoted to teaching older adults about the usage of technology. They connect tech savvy volunteers like the younger counterparts with older adults who lack digital literacy tools and skills. Okay. Let's learn about some of the advantages to teach older adults about technology tools. By educating older adults with digital literacy, they will be able to exercise their digital rights, moreover, their right to free and safe internet, which is a fundamental right. Seniors can connect, receive, and express themselves or extend love and support to younger adults using social networking platforms. Elderly digital citizens can now share vast knowledge, wisdom, and their expertise via online. Elderly users will gain the ability to perform an array of tasks like learning new skills from YouTube tutorials, online shopping, ordering online groceries, medicines, or even accessing entertainment like watching movies. The older population needs to dismantle their apprehension and biases towards technology. Moreover, self exploration will ignite sparks of curiosity among the seniors and facilitate them to try using new media tools for their benefit. Hence, it will help in eradicating the technophobia or misconceptions that are surrounding with regard to using technology. Computer anxiety will also get eradicated. Older adults can now feel a sense of belonging in the virtual world. It will provide them equal access, promote healthy aging, which is defined by WHO as the process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well being in older adults. Hence, it will inculcate a culture of inclusivity. Lastly, or not the sorry, he or she will be able to create, share, and consume digital content with ease and responsibility. A digital footprint grows in many ways. For example, posting on social media, subscribing to the newsletter, leaving an online review, or etc. The digital footprints of the older adults will subsequently increase. Now, I will be talking about a toolkit to promote digital literacy. It contains of two parts. The first part is a basic introduction to digital interfaces and presents a step-by-step guide to install mobile applications. The second part is a web-based tutorial platform that is an interactive web-based platform containing tutorials for older adults of performing various tasks on the computer. Let's for interest of time, I've already preloaded the website. Before finalizing which task to be taught, mm, okay, give me a moment. Okay, the landing page shows some of the tools tips, which is a section that visual aids, guidance, helper text, and navigation information for the new user. Okay, let's quickly skip through the tool tips. Next. Now, let's take a look at this page. Each page is accompanied by a global header to the navigation. Right now, we are browsing the part 1 section, the handbook. Handbook tab is where they will learn about iconography, gestures, accessibility features, and ways to customize their user interface of the mobile phone. The speaker icons are provided as an audio feature for adults with low vision. Let's try activating one.
Beginner's Handbook, an introduction to user interface. This beginner's handbook is introduction to digital interfaces for the older adults. It includes basic descriptions of iconography, customizing accessibility features, process to install mobile applications and scan QR codes. This is designed to help Android users who are struggling to use smartphones.
When a user scrolls through the handbooks, he or she gets to know about user interface guidelines or the basic anatomy of any interface. Most importantly, the users are elderly adults. Many of the times they're unaware of uh, customizing the accessibility features in their mobile phones. Hence, trying to provide some fundamental ways like introducing them with the accessibility icons or what are the types of features they can actually customize. For example, if somebody is affected with low vision, he or she will be able to increase or decrease the text size, adjust the colors or magnifier feature, which allows the content to be seen in zoomed in versions. If someone a user affected by low hearing or hearing loss, he or she will be able to turn on the talk aloud feature, for example, or try the subtitles. And to accommodate dexterity issues, he or she will be able to increase the tab sizes. Okay. And the last portion of the handbook basically introduces the user. He or she be able to install an app. The tutorial section is one of the most important part of this digital literacy tools kit. This section contains step-by-step guidance on performing various tasks using smartphones and computers. The tasks are divided as per the levels of their complexity. While level 1 card and level 2 card are dedicated to teach mobile applications, level 3 card will tutor computer users. For example, making notes or browsing a topic is categorized under level 1, but a complicated task such as learning a new language or reading the news, um, writing your thoughts and ideas on the social media forums categorized under level 2. Suppose in level 1 someone wants to learn how to make notes.
Make notes.
And she can easily go over and read on the section. In case they are unable to read on the instructions of how to use or create new notes, they can tap on the pictures. Also, one more thing, all these colors are passing the AD compliance and are created with color safe. It is an online tool that helps in creating color palette with AA or AAA contrast.
Open Samsung Note app, default. Once opened, tap the plus icon to create a new note. Text is activated by default. Write your notes and tap Save. Once saved, the new note is visible in the dashboard.
Similarly, the users have different um, cards to see and explore what all things he or she will be able, he or she aspire on. Let's go level 2. Level 2 has categorized tasks like learning a language or tracking expenses, managing their finances, since most of the older populations are retired generations, so they are always budgeting, or they are always on a strict financial plan. Let's look at learning the language task, where they are learning how to install Duolingo, or how to create their how to create their account using the mail account or any social media accounts. In case of learning a new language, they always have the options. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my presentation now. The other parts will contain popular mobile applications for beginners, and they are categorized in their respective domains. Okay, now going back to our presentation. This is a walkthrough video. Okay, I'm done with my present. Thank you everyone for your time and your patience.
Great. Thank you very much, Rittika. Really interesting concept. Some of the things that I wasn't aware of before, particularly around kind of just when you were saying your eyes start to be able to recognize shades of colors as well. Just something I wasn't aware of beforehand. So thank you for that. We do have a question come in from Steve saying, like, great, fantastic tool, and he really enjoyed it. But does educating seniors rely on charity, or is there something that people who are working on products can do to try and help educate seniors themselves?
See, that's a very good question. I would always say it shouldn't depend on charity, because older adults are integral part of any family or society. We all have our grandparents at home, so it should be the responsibility of each individual, because we are the ones gaining at the end of the day, and ones because they're full of wisdom, expertise, and they will be always able to help us or guide us. Especially in the pandemic times, a lot of older adults were unable to connect with the younger ones, and it was creating an emotional stress. So I would always say yes, like, let's not see it as a philanthropic activity, but as a responsibility, or it should come out of love.
Excellent. I like that. And anything tangible, is there anything people can use, like you were showing us in that tool? Is there a way that they could maybe something similar to their products that kind of through? Have you seen anything successfully done like that?
I've seen a lot of Geron technologies out there. Like, in my presentation, I have documented some. Like, there is a called there's a Samsung tablet which is specifically for adults, and all the UI screens, or let's say all the visual elements are very enlarged, and they're very seamless. They're like bite-sized information. Otherwise, there are a lot of Geron seniors health medical health apps are coming up, like Skin by Mayant, or there is a Boundary Care which is helping older adults with faced with dementia or Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, great. It's good to some apps are taking it on board and starting to develop specifically for the needs of elder people. Let's see if there's any other questions come in from the audience. I don't think so. So I think we might just finish up a few minutes earlier, but thank you very much, Rittika, for sharing all that. I was really interested in everything that you shared. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes. So up next, we have Ashwin Dalela, who will be sharing how you can enable your A team. So welcome, Ashwin.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the introduction and the opportunity, Rory. I'll
No problem.
quickly start sharing my screen. If you could let me know if it's visible. Just a second. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see it now. So I'll hand over to you. Thank you, Ashwin.
Great. Thanks. So, hi all. I'll be speaking today on how you can enable your A team from the perspective of a Scrum Master. Now, those who are aware, they already know what I'm going to be talking about, maybe. But for those not, Scrum just turned 21. It's quite old. 21 is not young anymore, and it might go on to turn 42, right? In a Scrum software development process, there are just three roles: development team, Scrum Master, and your product owner. There is a development environment which consists of internal and external factors like your organization, like your clients, and all of that. But the three most important people or the three most important roles in a Scrum software development methodology is, like I said, development team, Scrum Master, and the product owner. So now you have your dream team with you, a bunch of people that you know would be able to do the job that you are up for. What do you really do next? So, in my experience, and they interact. Go share a lunch, have a coffee, maybe have a smoke with them. Try to understand who they are as a person and as a professional. Try to identify things that piss them off. Try to empathize with people. Oftentimes, it so happens that uh, people come from backgrounds. They have different social background. Try to be cognizant of them and try to create a team which is cognizant of these differences among other team members. But most of all, respect each and every individual for the person that they are. And lastly, commit commit working with your team to make sure that you accomplish the goal that you're here for, which is also one of the most important Scrum values. um, Stop being these: the scribe, the secretary, the Scrum police, the admin, the team boss, the chairman, superhero, and of course the coffee clerk. So as a Scrum Master, it's not your job to notes and send out MOMs. That's not one of your core job. Or to be a secretary to work around with people's calendars and organize calls. Of course, it is a part of facilitation, but again, that's not the main go-to duty of a Scrum Master. You're also not the Scrum police, relentlessly imposing Scrum rules on everyone without having any empathy is not the right way to go about this. You're also not just the admin. You're also not the guy that people are gonna approach for adding additional user in Jira, or maybe looking at their TS about things like that. You're also not the team boss. Contrary to that, you are a servant leader for the team. You're also not the chairman who everyone joins in the morning to give an update to. You are not the superhero that everyone is always going to look up to resolve all their issues. And lastly, not just the coffee club. I mean, of course, it's good to get coffee for the team. It's collegial, it's friendly, it helps develop trust. But if that's your only responsibilities for the day, then you have to rethink if you are actually really required and if you cannot, just replaced by office boy. So what can you do better? Try doing these instead. The 8 stances, which I'll be discussing in the further slides. Um, Servant leader. So how do I? Servant leader is a very common term or jargon that has popped up. But what is it all about? What is servant leadership and what is a servant leader, right? Servant leadership is all about serving others, not yourself. It's not leading by title, but leading by example. It creates a style of leadership that endures. It's selfless management of team members. uh, when you uh, act as a servant leader, when you embrace the style of servant leadership, you actually are able to harness the collective power of the team. Servant leader always focus on building foundation of trust and stimulates empowerment and transparency within the team. It shows you are it shows your ethical and caring behavior. It puts others needs first. Now, what's the relation between a servant leader and agile manifesto? Because a servant leader has been mentioned quite a few times in the agile manifesto. So there are two principles of agile that really emphasize the importance of servant leadership. One, business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Nothing should be happening in silos. Now, how do you as a servant leader ensure that this happens, right? This is one of the most important factors that require, or that highlights the importance of servant leadership. The next one is to build projects around motivated individuals, to give them the environment and support that they need and trust them to get the job done. How would you motivate individuals, right? Via servant leadership. Moving on.
I think we might have lost Ashwin, unfortunately. Not sure what's happened with his connection, but hopefully to join back in shortly. Give him another minute or so to rejoin. Apologies for the technical issue. If we aren't able to get back in the next, what we might unfortunately have to do is we finish up our event today, but we'll ask Ashwin to record his talk and share that with people who. So apologies again for the technical issue. Just give it or so to rejoin. So it looks like, unfortunately, Ashwin joined. I don't know, maybe he's had some network difficulties connecting. Okay. Ashwin is back online now, so let me. So, hi Ashwin, we unfortunately lost you there. Oh. But having technical issues again. Apologies for these technical issues. I will reach out to Ashwin and ask him to record his talk, and then we will share the talk with you all after the event. So political issues. I do hope you enjoyed Rittika's talk. It was a great introduction to his talk, so I was very interested in what Ashwin had to share. But unfortunately, there seems to be some technical issues with the connection. So we'll finish up the event there. What I'll just like to say is we run all events, but we also do run large-scale conferences, and we're running our next one in New York. It's also online. And that's in May 16th to 18th, where we'll have 25 speakers attending. We'll also have some workshops as well. So apologies again for the technical issues, but as I said, we'll ask for that talk and we will share it out with everybody. But I think that brings us to an end. So very much for joining, and chat to you again soon.